Hi everybody, my name is Adam Harris from Trade with Precision and welcome to the IC Markets Market Commentary. So let's run through the markets. There's quite a bit happening. It is actually worthwhile taking note here. Starting off here with the euro against US dollar on a weekly basis. We've broken out of this pennant shape that we've had going for a couple of months. We're very nice and bullish at the moment, very strong against the US dollar, up and running into resistance at this point in time. So just to kind of draw your attention to it, you can see here price starting to break outside of this range as well. Just about to run into that 50-period moving average, so likely to encounter a little bit of resistance by the end of the week. And then we might see a bit of a retracement, but overall, that's showing a nice weak US dollar and stronger euro. If we have a look at cable, it's very similar. You can see it also had this pennant shape that it was building up to, but it had a stronger uptrend. Very nice series of high lows, high highs. We've got price again also coming back into these old highs over here, also approaching resistance. So we're going to have to see how the market reacts against that. That is likely meaning that dollar is approaching support on the dollar index, and we could see a bit of a reaction there. We'll see, but overall, just hinting at that weaker US dollar. If we have a look at gold, that weaker US dollar is going to have repercussions throughout all of the markets. By the way, here you could see gold hitting higher, especially on that weekly basis, on a daily basis as well, breaking out of this little bit of a consolidation, a bit of resistance. They're breaking out of this range that I'd highlighted with this box broken out, and is obviously at some point may potentially come back and retest it and continue, but gold continues to look strong. I think what I like about this the most, yes, I think that monthly is overextended. Yes, I think we're due for a correction at some point, but it's a monthly chart as well. When I look at it on a weekly basis, we've had a consolidation and then a breakout, which means that from that perspective, gold has now got quite a bit of energy and it gives it a bit of time to move. But at some point, of course, naturally, there will be a monthly retracement. Excuse me here. So now if we have a look at crude oil is still operating largely within its pennant shape, so it hasn't broken out just yet. And actually right now it's looking relatively weak, so heading back down towards those lows. We'll see if it can find support at this level or if it's going to break out down towards those lows. So this is important because we're seeing some movement in the markets which we haven't had for a while. And I always think of that old adage of sell in May and go away because the markets don't do much, and that could potentially have been applied this year. If we have a look now, moving on to the Dow's looking really nice and bullish, continuing to push up here. From a monthly perspective, we had a very quick touch and go on that market correction. The only thing that I have here that I want you to consider is that historically Septembers tend to be very bad months, and that's of course only a few weeks away. Could we still have a bad September? We could still, it's a possibility. It happens way more often than not, but the markets are quite resilient at this time. I guess what I'm saying here is I'm going to be approaching buy positions with caution, just in case September does if we do have another correction. We're still in a bull market, so at this point it's talking more about a market correction than anything else. Looking at the S&P 500, just a solid recovery. We are due for a retracement, and at least on the daily time frame, due for a bit of a pullback there. Nasdaq as well with the tech stocks, also due for a bit of a retracement on a daily basis. Let's have a look at the FTSE. The FTSE having a very strong reaction off that previous level of resistance, but still range bound at the moment, bumping its head up against resistance there. If we look at it from a daily perspective, you can see even today, while I'm recording this, have a bit of a down day. Looking at the DAX also very nice correction here. Go and look at it from a monthly perspective, and just such a nice strong correction. Let me zoom in so that you can see that. Just a really nice strong correction, and then back up at all-time highs. But clearly some strong resistance there. Then we have the Aussie, the ASX out of Australia, and this also pushing back up towards all-time highs. Market's nice and bullish. Then having a look at at Tesla. So Tesla has, let's just talk about what it is. It is technically in an uptrend here. If you argue this is the low, and then a high, then a higher low, then a high, and then another higher low, you can see that it is in an uptrend at the moment, but still kind of stuck within this these highs and lows here. So I would call this sort of neutral bullish. At the moment, it is potentially starting to continue to push higher. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Really, where it becomes significant is if once it breaks these highs, then it would start to pick up pace, and then I would say officially this is definitely in a bull market or a bull trend. Right now, it is just leaning bullish. Let's have a look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA also very overextended over here, but had a really strong correction and seems to want to keep going. This appetite for bullishness is very much what we're seeing across the board. It is definitely helped by that weaker US dollar. So if that dollar does decide to strengthen at some point, we would see a bit of a reaction then. And of course, Amazon here as well, that break and a retest of these highs, the 50, 20, and 10 on a monthly basis about to reorder. So all of this looking quite good. I would certainly, again, from a daily perspective, look for some kind of a retracement and a higher low to form there, and then finishing off just with cryptos here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you could see a very similar type of behavior to what we've seen with some of the equities and with tech stocks. The strong reaction off the lows here, lots of buying off these lows here from a monthly perspective. We had a big move up. We've had that same correction, similar to what you just saw on NVIDIA, for example. And so it looks as though it's trying to stay up there. Arguably, we could say the cryptos are kind of like tech stocks, and they share a lot. They're highly correlated. So if we see the markets continue to follow through there, my expectation here is that we'll also see Bitcoin push a little bit higher. It's not looking as bullish, but it's definitely not looking bearish at this time. That's it. I'm going to leave you with that. Plenty to think about. Have a great week, and keep calm and carry on trading, as I always say.